Hi everyone, Joanna here, and in today's video, I will be talking about my top 3 most complimented fragrances this summer. So I decided not just to talk about my top 3 most complimented, I will also be talking about the top 3 most complimented perfumes of my husband. These are the fragrances that grab attention, and we are definitely loving them as well. Now, when I was choosing perfumes to feature in today's video, I was actually quite shocked because these perfumes are not extremely hyped, but in my opinion, they smell absolutely amazing, and they were not complimented just because they are beast mode. They are complimented because they truly smell amazing. And they also have this intoxicating scent trail. I'm really excited to share this with you guys, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start off with my top 3 most complimented perfumes. These 3 perfumes are not just loved by my husband, but also loved by men and women around me. And I'm gonna start off with the most affordable. This might surprise you because this perfume is actually very linear, but people, including me, love it so much. And this is Marshmallow Blush by Paris Corner. Basically, this is a strawberry flavored marshmallow covered with icing sugar. Yes, it is gourmand, and it is a kind of gourmand that is extremely fluffy and addictive. This is such a fun and flirty perfume that always gets attention. My husband loves this fragrance on me. This is the fragrance that I wear when we actually go on just daily normal whereabouts. For example, going to groceries or just having like a quick coffee after kids drop off. Guys, this fragrance is so pretty, and I mentioned that it is strawberry flavored marshmallow. Now, I'm not really the biggest fan of strawberries in fragrances. However, I love how the strawberry is done in here. I think its fluffy texture help the fragrance to have that addictive quality, and the strawberry might be a little bit juvenile. However, it is doing it for me. I think I've worn this twice during my nails appointment, and my nail technician loves this perfume so much as well. I highly recommend this fragrance, not just to get compliments, but I recommend it because it is something cozy and just delicious. I think if you are into sweet, fluffy, textured kind of fragrances, you will love Marshmallow Blush. Even if you don't like strawberries in fragrances, I think you're gonna love this as well. Yeah, once again, Marshmallow Blush by Paris Corner. Performance-wise, it stays longer on clothes than on skin. And I would say that after maturation, this one lasts on me more than 6 hours. And it stays forever on clothes. In case you didn't know yet, this is a dupe of Kayali's Yum Bougie Marshmallow, and they're very close. I would say 95%. Marshmallow Blush has this citrusy background in it that makes it a little bit different from Yum Bougie Marshmallow. To be honest, it's not even recognizable in the air. I mentioned it to you now just because I really tried to find the difference between the two. But yeah, nevertheless, guys, Marshmallow Blush by Paris Corner, she garners attention. All right, next up is the fragrance that garners the most compliments this 2025 for me. This perfume got my husband on a chokehold. Boys, men, and women around me love this fragrance. This is Impadia by BDK. And if you watch my channel, you know that I love this fragrance so much. In my opinion, this is the best release of 2025 so far. Well, to me, this is Delina by Parfums de Marly plus Guidance by Amouage. It opens up like Delina. So having said that, it opens up bright, fresh, and rose dominant, and then as it dries down, the rose slowly turns into powdery texture mixed with that akigala wood, creamy vanilla, and sandalwood. There's something fluffy and powdery about this fragrance as well that I find so intoxicating. I would say texture-wise, these two have something in common, and it is like that fluffy, cottony feel on them. But Impadia is definitely more on the powdery side. I think if you love rose fragrances and creamy sandalwood, you're gonna love Impadia. I will just say that if you love guidance and DNA, you will like this fragrance. For the record, this is my husband's favorite scent on me. I know that he loves guidance, and for him, it is like a you smell good kind of scent, but Impadia just have like a more intimate effect on him. It's like you smell good, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and not just him, guys. Once I went to a family lunch, and one of my husband's cousins, he's young, around 18 years old, very shy, approached me as soon as I opened the door, complimented me straight away as I entered the house. He was like, "Oh my God, I have to stand up because you smell so good. What is your fragrance?" And yeah, BDK Impadia, my most complimented perfume this year so far. All right, next up is a fragrance that a lot of men and women love on me. I've worn this fragrance when we are having like special dinner with friends and like relatives of my husband's at night. I have used this several times as well for date nights because this perfume definitely screams sexy and alluring vibes. Zenobia by Tomavicci. I think my favorite fruity oud leather and saffron combo that I have in my collection. I will definitely purchase a bottle once I finish this 10 ml, and this is absolutely fantastic. I mentioned fruity, but don't think this is leaning herba pura kind of fruity, okay? The oud, leather, and saffron in here are just perfectly blended, slightly animalic to the extent that it's just enough to give you confidence and that oomph factor when you wear it. There's something about this fragrance that is very intoxicating, and the kind of compliments that I get from this fragrance is something serious, okay? It's not just like, "Hey, you smell good." It's like, "My God, you smell absolutely amazing." That's the level of compliment that I'm talking about when I wear Zenobia. This fragrance not only smells alluring and sexy, but also luxurious. If I have to describe this fragrance, I think it will be sexy and luxurious, fruity oud scent that smells absolutely divine. Love this fragrance. Performance more than average, lasts more than 8 hours definitely, and it stays forever on clothes. I will say the performance of these two are really good. They are very close to being beast mode, but not to the extent that they can be leaning disturbing to other people's noses. Yeah. Guys, I just love this fragrance so much. And I think if you're looking for a luxurious smelling, a very well blended fruity oud scent in the market, highly recommend you Zenobia by Tomavicci. All right, so those are my most complimented fragrances. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the most complimented perfumes of my husband. And let me start off with Moustache Eau de Parfum by Rochas. Guys, this fragrance is nothing special. However, I love this fragrance on him so much. And he didn't even realize how this fragrance smells like on him, because basically I got this fragrance for him and it was on his shelf. And since I always compliment him on this scent, yeah, he wears it often. Guys, this is a peppery, woody, vanilla scent that just smells effortlessly sexy, yet gentleman vibes. I think this is such an effortless fragrance that I just love smelling on him. If you're a guy and if you're looking for that effortless sex appeal kind of scent, I highly recommend Moustache. Yeah, there's something about how perfectly peppery done this fragrance is. I mentioned that because most of the time pepper can ruin a fragrance for me, especially if it's too peppery. However, not for this one. This is perfectly balanced with the cedar, benzoin, vanilla, and patchouli. I would say that this is a unisex scent. However, slightly leaning more masculine. I prefer to smell this on him than myself, but I definitely see a woman rocking this fragrance as well, especially if you are into peppery and woody scents. Now, this is actually very similar to YSL's Tuxedo, but to be honest, guys, who needs Tuxedo if you have this one already? To my nose, they are very similar that I don't think I need to have Tuxedo. Once again, highly recommend Moustache by Rochas. Next up is a fragrance that I love smelling on him to the point that I request him to wear this fragrance, especially if we are meeting friends, because there's something about it that smells so fun and it lasts forever as well. We both never imagined how good it is until he got compliments from his guy friends, okay? And I'm telling you, his friends are not the type who compliments someone, not only for the fragrances, but, you know, men stuff. They don't really compliment each other, especially they're not really into perfumes. However, guys, Anelo by Pernoire, I absolutely love this fragrance, especially on him. This is another summer, fruity, woody scent that just smells absolutely fantastic. The most prominent to my nose are pineapple, pomelo, mango, and mandarin orange. It also has ginger, but it is just in the background, you know, giving this fragrance that perfect amount of zestiness. I saw in Fragrantica people are comparing this with Sospiro's Vibrato. And to be honest, even though, okay, yes, I find the similarity, but Anelo is definitely zestier and juicier. The pineapple, pomelo, and mango combo in here is to die for. I just love how juicy and fresh this perfume smells like, and it lasts the whole day. Now, this is a beast mode kind of scent, okay? You will definitely be smelled, but since it's very light and airy, you won't feel like you are wearing too much. Guys, this fragrance smells so good on air, especially when you smell wafts of it in the air. There's something sexy about it. I love smelling this fragrance on him, and not only me love it, but also his mates. And that is very impressive. As I told you, they never really complement each other. I think this fragrance is sold out or it will be back soon. Not really sure. Guys, this is really worth checking out. I know Pernoire is a little bit more on the luxury side, but I'm telling you, this perfume is worth it. I will say that this is in the top 3 best smelling summer scent for men that we have in our collection. And yeah, having said that, it is something, guys. So yeah, highly recommend you Anelo if you're looking for an amazing, juicy, zesty, fruity summer scent that garners compliment. Once again, Anelo by Pernoire. Alright, and last but not the least is a fragrance that shocked me. If you watch my channel, for sure you've seen my review about this fragrance, and I didn't find it special because it is like a salty marine scent. However, guys, when my husband wore this fragrance consecutively, I was shocked because it smells absolutely amazing on him. Zodiac Solmaris by Paris Corner. As mentioned, an aquatic, salty, mossy scent. I absolutely love it. My husband loves it on him too. I think out of all the new perfumes that I gave him this year, yes, I mentioned gave him because I received PR, and if I find the perfume more masculine leaning, basically it just goes straight to his shelf. Zodiac is the one that he loves the most. This is his most worn fragrance of the year, almost every day, and it was him who made me realize that this fragrance is actually good, because since he's wearing it often, I had to stop him and ask him what was he wearing, and he was, guess what? And I couldn't guess it until he finally revealed that it was a fragrance that I gave him. This perfume smells absolutely gorgeous on him. I'm gonna consider it as a fresh boy next door kind of scent. Perfect for summer. The oak moss here is just enough, I would say. To my nose, this is mainly salty marine and a little bit woody kind of scent. This is actually a dupe of Issey Miyake Les Sal. And yeah, I think if this fragrance is really a dupe of that fragrance, this is so worth it, because this costs around 20 something euros for a bottle, guys, and it lasts forever. I will say Solmaris and Anelo, these two are beast mode level, and it stays forever on clothes. So yeah, highly recommend it. I love this fragrance on him. So basically, this is like my most complimented fragrance for him, and he loves this fragrance as well. For me to say that he loves this fragrance, that says a lot, because my husband loves long-lasting and beast mode kind of scents. For him to say that he loves a fragrance, that means it lasts and it has a superb performance. So yeah, Zodiac Solmaris by Paris Corner. So that is the video for today, guys. Those are our top 3 most complimented perfumes this summer. Now, I want to know, what are yours? What kind of summer fragrances are you wearing lately that get you compliments? I'm curious to know, and of course the community would love to know as well. Once again, guys, if you love this video, don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you on my next one. Bye!